Hi, welcome back to another video with the Pondering Pagans. I'm Rook.
I'm Salann.
And I'm Hawk.
Welcome.
Roll that intro.
All right, so what we're doing today?
Today we're making
Colanders?
Pomanders. Under instruction by Hawk.
We are exploring the traditions of spice and oranges for the coming Festival of Yule.
So, before we move into the full video, this section will be a brief overview of the Pomander craft and a little bit of history. The full video is quite long.
Quite long.
Quite long.
Quite long.
But remember, the time spent working the Pomander craft and magic is truly about friends and the memories you make while doing it.
Exactly. And so, just a little history on Pomanders. Back in the day, back when, I don't know how far back, but a long time ago, Pomanders were metal. They were gold, silver, made out of different metals, and they had in them like a linen or a cotton or something in them that could absorb an oil or an herb smell, and they would use those to ward off smells. So the idea was that disease could be prevented by overpowering the smell. So if you had a scent in your pomander, your metal container, that was stronger than the disease, then the disease could be prevented or overcome. So some of them are really cool. If you Google it, they look like oranges that split open, like a flower, like a blooming blossom from that place I won't name because I don't want to get in trouble. But they're really neat, and you can put all different kinds of scents and stuff in them. So over time, it became, instead of metal, a fruit. So you can use oranges like we did, or apples, and then spices and other things that you would dress the fruit in to make a pomander. And you hang it, and it can be used like as an ornament and all kinds of different things. So very cool. Many different scents can be used, and just a really fun, relatively easy, not even relatively, just very easy craft to do.
So the bright orange and crisp apples could be used to brighten up the long months around Yule time. We chose, as you'll see, an orange as our base. We use cinnamon, cardamom, star anise, clove, and pepper, and we also ground up some myrrh and benzoin resin. A couple of other items you'll need is some ribbon and scissors.
Yep. And so the process is really easy. Like we said, the video is very long, so we wanted to give you like a little mini what to do so that you'll have that under your belt. And basically you take the orange and you use the ribbon to secure it by quartering it. You can use pins to hold it. We didn't have any, and it's still extremely easy to do.
Well, I'll just interrupt here and say don't feel bad if you have a trouble quartering the orange with your ribbon. It flops out, it slips and slides. I had a lot of trouble. I had to get a help. So you can dial a friend.
Yeah. It's very easy. Very easy. But anyway, so once you've used the ribbon to secure your orange or your apple, you then use the whole clove and you puncture it. You can do it in a design or just any way you want. We kind of just went all crazy and poked as many cloves as we could, whole cloves, right into the side of the orange. The juice will come out. It'll soak the ribbon and do all kinds of other things so that the spices will stick. So again, once you put however many cloves you want to, I think we probably used about 50 per orange easily. Yeah. And it's all, soaked in the orange juice or apple juice whatever you use. Then you dust it with all of your spices and your mixes, and that's what makes the pomander scent. You hang it to dry. And you can use it as like an ornament. We have them hanging. We'll show you in the video some of the ones that we have, and we're going to Once they dry, you then can hang them on your tree if you do a tree, or you just use them as decoration on wreaths. I saw a picture of one as a wreath, really cool. And we know our video here is very long and the sound is pretty terrible. I made a huge mistake and didn't turn off the internal microphone on the computer that we were using to record. So there's a lot of echo and stuff, but the memory and the recording of the whole thing was just so important. So we took this 5-10 minute craft and made it a 4.5-5 hour day. And we wanted to keep as much as possible in the video. So feel free to skip around it if you want to and go through it. But the craft is easy. Just remember, it's really all about the joy and feeling the joy and the fun we had with our friends making the craft and just spending time together talking about it. And I'll be honest, I really felt kind of like at the end like we were doing something that our ancestors probably did do and that we just lost somewhere along the way. So this is now a tradition for us.
That's awesome. So please enjoy your family and friends, or doing it alone. Enjoy the time and the process of making them. It smells amazing.
It sure is. So let's get to it.
Let's get to it.
She's so cute. I'm excited because we're using a lot of spices from like pumpkin spice, what people would use for pumpkin spice, right? So that's cool. You know, people think of pumpkin spice as a latte or a pie, but it's actually a really old mix of spices that's been around for thousands of years. And actually, you know what? It's a potion when you think about it, right? All the mixes that we're going to do. And then the pomander is something that I've never heard of or done before.
That comes from old world, dating back medieval times, maybe before that, and its roots go into magically spice is fire, and they were used around Yule because Yule is the return of the sun, and hence we have lovely organic Florida Pandellos.
Ooh, I want one. I won't eat it.
So we're each going to take one, but that's part of the process. The spices came originally from India and the Orient, and when traveling got to be between the tribes of trade routes, that's when in Northern Europe, that's when we got clove, cinnamon, the exotic resins, nutmeg, allspice, peppers, all come from that. And they are all, in fact, in magical aligning, they're aligned to fire. Which again goes back into what we're doing. We're going to be, in our little ritual, we're calling back the sun, which happens at solstice, or Yule. So we're going to start out, because this is a magical working, we're going to call in our directions. And
I will start, since this is due east, if that's okay, and then we'll just go around.
Yep.
We're going to do south and west to light that one over there.
Yep.
So really calling in the corners and just lighting a candle for what we're inviting in for the protection of our circle. So I will call first to the guardians of the east and the elements and ancestors that surround us, that give us the air not only that we breathe, but the air that also gets provided to us from earth. That's the air from the trees to us and from us back to the trees in the cycle that we have. Hail and welcome.
Hail and welcome.
Just be careful with the glass.
I will call in the guardians of the south, element of fire, fuel our passion. Welcome with us tonight as we do our working for our Pomanders for Yule. Hail and welcome.
You're welcome. Got a little incense for East, too.
Listen, we need rest, and we're using our big alignment. So here, you're closest.
Oh, excuse me, Iris. Just pull it up. That'll be fine.
Why do we call the directions?
Well, it depends on who you ask. There's a lot of different reasons to call the directions. Our main purpose is A, to remember why we're here, to invite in those things, be it your spirit, your all the different words you can call them, ancestors, all of the things that make us, whether we know them or don't know them. And we call them in to A, be with us as they wish, to help them view our magic and work with our intent, and to be balanced.
Hit it.
All right, we invite the guardians of the west, element of water, to keep our emotions balanced. Hail and welcome.
Welcome.
Sorry.
Nope,
And
it's not on. There you go. Nope.
Yeah,
I'll
it's on
keep
this
this
side.
one.
There you go. You're missing one. All right.
And to the north, the pole star, the bear, element earth, time winter. I call in your blessings for us on our working this evening.
And I'm bringing in the animal spirit for spirit. Look at this one.
Oh,
Because we also always bring in spirit. Oh, that's gonna. Jeez.
from above to below, Lord and Lady, gods and goddesses, we welcome all.
Welcome on. She's still looking for that sausage.
What's the time of our ancestors when we used to do things like this? Now, Pomanders take a bit of time. What you see here is our first part of what we're going to do. This orange, when it's done, will be hung and it dries out. And as it dries, it extrudes a smell that is so glorious because it's going to be wrapped in spices and smells that will cure it. And it is hung in places to, one, keep away as a protection evil things. In medieval times, they considered the spices and the smells protections against plague. So we would be also doing that. It is, when it's hung, it is synonymous with the sun. So we are calling in the sun. And when I grew up in England, always by the fire, we had fireplaces, we would hang our stockings, and they were real stockings, but always there would be an orange in the toe of the stocking.
Oh.
As a blessing for the new year, and to give us vitamin C, which is also part of the sun. Any of the citrus helps with skin disorders. That's why in my traditions I'm a limey, because we used to eat limes as we were traveling on the oceans. Prevents scurvy.
Scurvy.
Oh, that's not interesting.
So, ingredients, main ingredients. You have to have cloves, whole cloves, which are easily attained in the store.
Yeah, and we have more if we need it.
We probably will.
And they smell wonderful.
They are used in stews. They are used in baking. They are used in health products. Well, you guys would know more about that. As fragrance.
Apple
Again,
cinnamon.
yes. Again, they're coming from the Orient and India.
We don't have a dog out here that growls like that. I'm just saying.
Was that Iris?
It was busy.
He's trying to get back in, honey.
All right, so
And what else? We have resins. Again, this is whatever you have. Whatever you have in your apothecary. As pagans, we are known to have all kinds of stuff.
Oh, I have stuff.
Stuff.
We have stuff.
From resins to herbs to spices to floras. Because we make teas, we make concoctions, and we make potions.
I'm having fun, but she was licking my feet.
That's kinky. Hey. So we do two things. We have to create a hanging device for these. And this is where our ribbons come in. And you can have any kind of ribbon you so choose. Traditionally,
I like the gold yellow color they have.
yeah. Traditionally, it would be green and red because
Yule, Christmassy.
green is one season and red is the other. Green is the
I always thought green was the log and red was the fire.
that too, but green is the fur, the winter kind, and the red actually stands for the holly berry,
Well,
which
I have
is.
hollyberry.
I gave you some.
Oh, I have some too.
Do you? Okay.
Just the berries, though.
That comes from the myth of Joseph of Arimathea. And he planted his staff on Glastonbury Tor, and it decided it was going to bloom in the wintertime. Why did you choose the color that you chose?
I was drawn to it, I think, for autumn, the color. And it was a coppery, it looks like a coppery color.
It's a really pretty
which
color.
is, I like because it helps me to feel really grounded and close to earth, which I guess I kind of needed today. I think it's a beautiful color.
Yes, you do. I'm picking this because it's really my favorite color. It's green. It's got a little bit of blue in it. I think it's hard to see probably in the video, but this is the color that keep your stuff to so you can mark it.
All right, in the orange, there is the stem part and is the navel part. What you want to do is flip it over. Choose your color. I did. Then you got to cut it out. That's the next step. You've got to cut a length of ribbon. Long enough that it's going to wrap around and tie in a bow. So give it some length.
Do we need more than one color?
No.
Or this one?
You can put more than one in if you want, but you need to start with at least one. All right, you got to center the ribbon.
Center the ribbon.
All right. Ribbon is going to go this way. I have reasons. Just follow me here. All right, on the navel part, you're going to put it down. You're going to flip the orange around.
I have no idea what you just told me to do, but I'm doing what I was planning, so hopefully it's the right thing.
Okay.
My orange has a really big belly button, and it's not really flat.
Whatever. Do it how it tells you to do it.
All it's
And
telling
the
me is
frogs
eat me.
are croaking. That's interesting because
This time of year?
Yes. All right. So what you're going to do is wrap it around. You're going to wrap it, attach it like this, and then you're going to divide so it goes the other way. What we're doing in the orange is also we are creating the equinox and the solstice quarters. Because this isn't magical working. And then you need to tie it very tight.
Tight like a tiger.
Tight.
Do you do like a bow tie kind of thing?
Yeah. And then you're gonna do, I would tie a knot, full knot first, and then a bow tie.
Wow. Oh, you're coming here now.
Come on now, we can do this. Okay, so you should have, like this, with a really long stem. You got it? You got it.
Woo!
There.
I'm a wiener. My orange looks like it has Mickey Mouse ears. That is such a pretty color. Oh my god,
Isn't it? Isn't it?
that's my high school colors, teal and black. Because yeah,
Right, our next prep for this, because we're going to start studying. But we're going to, when it's all studded out, it's going to start to leach juices because we've pierced it. So we need to make a powder, and that's where all these spices come in. Because we're going to grind up a powder, and then we're going to roll the whole thing in smell and unctuousness.
Anxious.
I like that.
Look at this girl. Yeah, I said I wasn't going to do it for you, and I went ahead and did it for you. But
It's probably best in the interest of time.
All right. Get some
interest of
clothes.
when am I even worried about time?
Oh, thank you.
All right.
Sure, I'm going to be waiting on me for
Now-
20 minutes.
You can cheat. If you had straight pins, you could put straight pins around the ribbon, or you can start at each side and you put the clove in.
We got more, by the way.
It's gonna stay good.
So did you start at the top or the bottom?
Yeah, I started at the top.
And like, how many do you do?
As many as you want.
Because I don't want to use them all.
You use them all. That's what I do.
And where you're pushing them into, around the ribbon?
Just push it.
Push it anywhere. Push it, baby. Push it. Push it good.
You go all the way around the...
All right.
I'm going to make a design.
That's, you can make designs, but if you go around each one and overlap the clove on the clove will hold the ribbon. See?
Okay.
And you can start to smell it.
It
I
smells
already smell it.
amazing.
Yes.
All right. So now you need to grind, baby.
Grind, baby.
Grind, baby. You gotta grind some stuff. We have the cinnamon and we have the orris root powder. Orris root is a stabilizer. It will help dry things out as well. It's very important.
All right, so I'm going to pour this into here for now because I think it's easier to do the resins first. Bradley, could you pass me the resins, please? There's 3 of them, and don't reach over the candle. Okay, there's 4
You
of
get
them.
to control your fire. You know
Yeah, I know that. I gotta learn that.
that. We'll work on that.
Yeah.
I've gotta learn that. Ooh, nice. Looking nice.
Oh, that does look good.
Mine looks all kind of beat up and confused.
Is it dazed and confused? Oh, that's gorgeous. The weather's getting nice, so they should dry nicely. Things in Florida don't dry so well because we have uber humidity. That's why I don't make meringues, because meringues are not good.
I was just talking yesterday about how I like meringue.
I love meringues, but it's too humid here. It doesn't work well. That and sugar work, too. That's not a good thing.
All right. So we have powder resin of styrax, benzoin, frankincense, and myrrh.
Beautiful. It's going to smell amazing. We have to burn some.
I should have brought a little thing out to pour this in.
The kid.
I think I'll use, Brad, I'm going to use your bowl to pour this in.
Add some cinnamon. Oh, you do the resins first, because you're going to blend it all together.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, I can add the other stuff in, but sometimes it's hard to get the bigger
grind
pieces
it,
to
yeah.
grind up.
A good tool for
Look at that.
any good pagan is a mortar and pestle.
Mortar and a pestle. And here's a trick. Don't pay $60 for a really nice mortar and pestle from a witch shop. Sorry, witch shop owners. Get you one that's used for guacamole or food service.
Food
like
service.
Rook did. And it is like 1/10 the cost.
And
very
it's
beautiful.
more functional.
Durable.
It's a 4 cup. I think it's a 4 cup.
Yeah, it looks
Pestle.
like it.
Oh. Oh, heavenly. So what I'm doing is I am mortaring and pestling fresh cardamom pods and star anise. Neat thing about cardamom is the actual pods are like this greasy little pellets and woodsy pieces, and you can actually use the outside sheath of cardamom to make fibers. It makes a really strong rope.
I'm about to put you inside.
It is a very exotic spice that is not used too much now. But I love it. I use it a lot in baking. It's a finer taste and fragrance.
I just love this.
You like it?
It's pretty.
Looks good. I like the color ribbon too.
Yeah. When they're dried, we're going to take glue and put a little bit of sparkle on the
Oh, I like that.
ribbon and hang things. That's why you have big, long, ribbony things. Tails. Ribbony things, right?
Same thing.
Indeed. We would be, in the olden days, this would be considered wintertime now. So these would be indoor crafts that we would do as a group or a family. And we would tell stories, bring up to date who did what's going on, what we're going to plant in the new year. And all these intentions also.
Every time you
So
put...
anytime you put something in, you're also putting it in as part of bringing back the sun at Yuletime, at solstice.
If anybody ever wonders, because I hear people say a lot, it's like, oh, intentions, that's ridiculous. Can you give me the cardamom? And they talk about, how intentions, it's not all about intentions. You're stupid if you think it's all about intentions. But when you think about all of the hundreds of thousands of people or however many generations before you all had to come together to have everything come together, to meet the people that you had to meet, the animals you had to have, to be at the house that you had to have that was built by the people that also have that same background, all come together just so we could be here right now having the same conversation we're having.
It's called survival. They did it for survival.
But the intent behind it is none of them existed, and this conversation wouldn't have
Exactly.
existed if it weren't for every single one of them.
Exactly.
All of this things smell so good. Cardamom is probably my favorite flavor of any. Scent, everything. It's like a woodsy, nutmeggy cinnamon.
I also like mace.
I've heard about that, but that sounds kind of weird.
Mace is the outer.
Oh, the herb mace,
Yeah.
not the spray.
Oh, that's what I mean.
Oh, well, there's a mace that'll clobber yourself with it.
Oh, right, there's a physical mace
Yes.
too. With the long
Yeah.
stick with the ball at the end.
Yep.
I only know that from playing video games. Can I help you?
Who's in my
What else do we want? Do you want any pepper in here?
A little bit of pepper is good.
I have some. I just want
know
to eat
you
this
do.
cardamom, and I know it does not taste good right out of the thing.
Oh, you
Pepper. Store
anise, good ones, are the shape of the pentacle. They are used
Oh my god, that is good.
for divination purposes. You
Wanna
can
try one?
use them.
What is it?
Cardamom?
Cardamom.
You eat it?
Yeah. Got a very weird flavor, but it's like almost like menthol cigarettes.
Oh, it is.
But it does not taste like that in stuff. Of course, it's also usually
Tastes like
mixed with-
Vicks.
It does have like a Vicks taste to it. Try one?
Sure.
Oh my god, my contacts are bad.
When you have a chance to
Just a little
experience,
seed.
you cannot pass up.
That's
the
right.
experience.
It's definitely a better flavor than menthol cigarettes. I really shouldn't have said that. But it's very strong in its
wow.
little miniatureness. The first time I ever had cardamom was with brown sugar and some cinnamon on almonds. Very common nut flavoring. And then when we made our first scent for candles and stuff and our roll-ons and all that, it was cardamom that we ended up. That was the big scent for me.
That is good. I wonder if they, or if it was ever used for, say like congestion.
I don't know. That'd be interesting.
Not so much.
Because it does clear the nasal up.
It's just very, very mild, but
It's different. That's for sure.
it's good.
Keep grinding.
I am. I was breaking the stuff up. I'm enhancing my fire.
Okay. I got a lot of water, dude. I can help you out.
I have a lot of earth. I can direct that water pretty well.
Okay.
Fire
Who's the airbender here?
We got 2 fires and earth and water.
I'm earth and water also. And fire. I have fire as well. I have no air. Very little.
I don't think I have a lot of air either.
I do not tolerate air.
And they can fire and water.
We're the same.
Fire and water. A lot of
Were you born in the morning or the evening?
12:01 a.m.
What about you? Do you know?
9:46 a.m.
So y'all would be completely different moon signs. Yeah, moon signs would be different. I mean, rising would be different. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
Not even moon sign.
Okay. You got the prickly.
Smell that.
Ooh,
It's different.
good.
It does smell lovely though.
I feel like I need more of something. Not pepper, not. Well, maybe it'll be when I put the
No,
cinnamon in that.
yeah, you're gonna, there's cinnamon and the orris powder. You have the anise in it.
Yeah, but I need to, maybe that's what I'm missing. I only did 1 star. Yeah, I need a few more.
Licorice.
Yeah. Which is funny because I hate
You
licorice.
got the myrrh and the frankincense.
Yep, that's
I
already
don't like
Okay.
licorice, but it smells like
It smells
licorice.
just like it.
You do the whole anise star, right? I mean, I did, but
Yeah. And these seeds, again, are the Italian version of, a lot of times they're used in biscotti and baking because they are traditionally a good luck.
yeah. And what's cool about anise for me is, yes, they are licorice smell and licorice flavor. I like it when they have different like stars.
Well,
But they don't taste like licorice in cooking to me. It does have that flavor to it, but it doesn't taste like licorice.
Like tarragon. Tarragon has an anisey flavor, and it's in the Artemisia family.
Oh, I knew her. Haskell. Or a Scuba powder.
It doesn't have a strong smell to it. It's more for the property it is of drying out and
Does that look like enough?
a little more.
I use whatever I can. Not that much?
Yeah. We'll start with that. See how it is.
So what is orris root? What is orris? I have to look that up.
It's like a lily of like a lotusy kind of.
Like we have talked about this before, making stuff.
Yeah.
I really wish people who are watching the video could actually smell this. They're just-
I know we don't have smell-o-vision. We have to work on that because this is part of the problem.
This just completely altered the entire thing.
Yes. It now has a sweetness to it. Here, smell this.
Or a shine.
You gotta have
it's
your.
amazing.
It's a shined soapstone almost. Yeah, that's why it's so
Oh, wow.
Nice.
There's cinnamon in this one.
Yes.
That would be
Oh, that's
delightful
wonderful.
throughout the house.
Yep. All right. Now, are we
Ooh, we're gonna have to
rolling,
burn
or
some of that.
or you took a break?
Oh, I restarted.
Okay.
I just like to separate the files sometimes.
We're gonna have to burn some of that.
We said that. All right. Are we all at a point we're done
Oh,
piercing?
piercing, yes.
Yes.
We have all our
We have our piercings on. All these extra little noodles you could put in here
Okay.
to grind it in. And
I'll have to regrind the stuff.
yes, you do.
Bradley,
Yeah.
have fun.
have good juices.
Good juices. Oh, you do. This will just keep going.
Mesh it up.
Could have a little bit more pepper.
Beach, where do you? Oh, she's drinking water. Use some of your powder. Put some of your powder in your bowl. Yes.
Well, no one was moving, so
The man who ground should dole it out.
Here.
thank you kindly for doing the grinding.
Please, sir, may I have some more? This, it'll be fine.
I think I stole your bowl. So
Okay.
now we might have to make some more.
No.
Bowl.
Bowl. Bowl.
God, it smells so good.
Really? See, I hate this thing.
Do you want to use that other one?
There's none left now. Got stuck on the side and just splattered it all across the table. There's none to burn.
We do. We got little nurdles and things, and we can always add some more. You know, we don't have to be brown proper for burning.
All right, so what do we do next?
I'm water and I flowed already. All right, with this
I'm gonna give it a good little squeeze.
powder, you're going to sprinkle the whole thing.
Yes, I know there's some chunks.
You knew just what I was thinking.
I was holding one in my hand.
But we appreciate it.
It's lovely. More than that.
And now smell it when it's on the orange, because it's going to change. That was just enough for 4 of us.
It was practically perfect in every way.
Practically perfect. We have an umbrella. They're Mary
Mary
Poppins.
Poppins.
Bradley, I'm starting to think that you had doubts. How are those chunks now?
I got a couple chunks in there. We'll burn them.
Non-rhetorical questions only, please.
Oh, yes, Mr. Practically Perfect.
All right. I mean, oh my God, that smells good.
I'm in heaven over here just...
Oh my.
Heaven. I'm in heaven.
Like, this is insane.
Okay, so this is where you need your bowl, because this is where it gets hung now. And this is the last step, is the air and the spices mixed together, and it will draw
Look at that,
out
isn't that
the
pretty?
juices, and it will smell. But what we're doing with all these spices is drawing out moisture.
Oh, it just burned into my nose.
Oh, amazing.
Look at
Oh,
that.
It is
Brad, you
the
need to take some
smell
pictures.
of Yule. This is Yule.
Hold them up.
This is not any Yule I've ever smelled, but my God.
Really? That's sad. As long as these dry correctly, that's why you need to hang them. Because if they're touching something, the liquid will leach down and it will cool and it will rot.
Excuse me.
That's why hanging is very important.
Maybe grab some pins tomorrow.
I mean, if you have a hanger, and just some safety pins will you can put them on a hanger and
Yeah, we
hang
can
them
get
up.
one of our hangers and just hang them all
Yeah.
on one.
Can you imagine how the house is going to smell?
Oh, it's gonna smell lovely.
One of the reasons why I kind of wanted to do it inside, but I like doing it better outside.
Being out here.
Yeah,
Me too. I just wanted all the smell to be inside.
And
pretty.
This
Get that
takes
rosemary.
process 20-something days or so to dry, or not that long? Couple weeks?
it depends.
Yeah.
There's
It
it's
should be better if, for us in the front room it's a little bit warmer and it's dry up front with our dehumidifier.
if you think about Europe, Northern Europe, England, Germany, all those areas, it's cooler. It rains a lot, but it's cooler. And that's the aspect of it. Here we're hot and humid, and that's
Not good.
that's the epitome of the petri dish, where you grow all kinds of things,
Algae and
everything under the sun grows here.
Well, I should probably stop the video shortly, so
All right,
you must make one of these.
Yes.
Anybody watching?
yes, it is
smell.
easy. So, recap, we'll actually write the stuff that we used in the, what do you call it? The comment section, whatever, in the text. But I must point out that I think that I would not allow not having any one of the spices or pieces to keep me from doing it. If all you have is cloves, do it with just cloves.
Do it.
Yes.
Everybody has cinnamon. And you have
Yeah.
nutmeg, and you have ground ginger. All of those things are
That's insane.
ready, available, and can go in it. The most
mix this
important
in
thing
there?
is the cloves. That is your important
sir.
aspect.
Yeah.
And since we're going into holiday season with hams, Thanksgiving, it's always clove-studded hams. You got cloves. It's going to take a fair amount.
Use 2 bottles for 4 of them.
Yeah.
But again, if you're doing it on a budget, you could use less.
Yep. You can, and you can,
Half the amount of cloves, twice as much.
right,
cinnamon,
you
whatever.
can create
2.
spirals, you can create designs with the cloves. We
You know
just
what'd be
did
kinda
it.
cool? Take a little knife and cut a little teeny slit in the side and stuff a whole cinnamon stick in there.
In the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would put that in the top. Like it, so it would be then look like an
Yeah,
apple
you wouldn't want
or
it draining
something.
out. Yeah. Because if you put it at the bottom, it's going to follow the
Yeah,
inside.
yeah,
and drain
no,
out.
you do it's
Go
small
up.
in the top. In fact, we could do that now. If we had cinnamon, just a sliver right in the top. Would not hurt it. Are you going to introduce what you're doing?
Yes.
Okay.
Not my first video.
No, it isn't. Smart ass.
I love that. That stays in.
Yeah, there's no more pepperoni up here for you. Or salamis. The salamis is gone.
It's gone.
The salamis and cheese is gone. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
What are we doing? Just sprinkling it?
No, 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 no. It's on smack your ass.
What is that?
Side of it.
Oh, do you want me to empty that one and use that one?
No, I'm just making the point that these things are cheap. Don't ever spend money on the nice ones.
Well,
This is an
mine
orange.
broke.
Splitters and agates.
It's an agate, I think.
Yeah, the agate is not.
Those
Go ahead.
rebels.
Go ahead.
Well, I didn't think we'd need 3 people removing.
Oh, shit.